I mean, the way I look at it, because I've been down in Brazil, I've been working with Amazon Watch, I've been dealing with indigenous leaders down there over the last few months, and you know, I'm going to be going to Colombia and Ecuador as well. It's the same story everywhere. It's usually an extraction industry or some kind of energy project that's on a collision course with you know, deforestation and or destroying the forest and destroying the rights of the indigenous people that live there. So, you know, this is something that's of great interest to me. Obviously, you know, it's not as a result of Avatar, although it partially is. Avatar is a result of my concern in these areas that I've had since I was a kid. You know, I mean, growing up in Ontario, on the Niagara Peninsula there, I spent all my time as a kid in the woods, and you know, loved it, and was deeply affected as a teenager, you know, at the start of the environmental movement by thinking about pollution and so on. And we had a lot of it in that area. The Niagara River was affected by, you know, was horribly polluted with PCBs that were running down, and you know, Lake Erie, of course, was devastated by industrial effluent in those days. And then it's been cleaned up, but it's taken big shifts in policy. It's taken a public outcry, and you know. I'm not anti-business, you know. I believe in business, but I think, you know, you can't do everything you want, and you have to be respectful of the earth and respectful of the First Nation people, the indigenous people who were here first.
How would you compare the scale of what you've seen so far with, say, the Belo Monte in Brazil?
It's a similar kind of scale. The Belo Monte Dam project is a $16 billion project. You know, it's one of about 60 big hydroelectric dam projects that are planned in the Amazon basin. So it's the same sort of thing in a general sense, which is you have this resource there. In that case, it's energy, but the cost of harvesting it is enormous in terms of the you know, the forests. And the Belo Monte Dam alone, only one of those 60 projects will displace 25,000 people, most of them indigenous. So, you know, these are the kinds of things that are happening all over the world. You know, they're brought to my attention because they're real Pandoras in a way. You know, people are saying that fantasy that you put up on the screen in Avatar, that's my life. That's happening to me right now. You know, and the funny thing is that when I made Avatar, I thought, well, you know, I'm an artist, I'm a filmmaker, I express myself through movies and documentaries. You know, this will be my big statement, and then I'll, you know, just go relax for a while. And it was quite the opposite. That was just the start of this journey, which has, you know, become almost a kind of a mission in and of itself. And I can't make another Avatar quickly enough to you know, be able to comment on the things that are happening right now. A lot of major decisions, I think, need to be made by the human race in the next 5 to 10 years, and we don't make those Avatar movies fast enough. I want to meet with the First Nations leaders, and we're going to have dinner tonight, and we're going to have a number of meetings and you know, briefings and so on. And in Fort Chip as well, I'll get to hear their, you know, I think very real concerns about their health and you know, the welfare of the environment, the animals that they need for their, you know, culturally and for their livelihood. And, you know, the way I look at it is that the indigenous people are the ones who speak for nature. You know, our society goes in and says, well, what can these natural resources do for me? Nobody speaks for nature, you know. And what I see everywhere that I go is that it's the indigenous people that step up and say, you know, we speak for nature, because that's you know, that's their culture, and that's what they believe and feel. So I want to hear from them here, so that I kind of a little bit more know what I'm talking about.